Hello, everybody, and once again, this is Hidden Angel Lionheart coming to you live, trying to stay awake. Oh, hold up. Let me drink my Coke. Okay, that was the end of that. So, anywho, this video is a very particular one that I actually said something to Queenie about, and she actually said it was a good idea. So as I said in the last couple of videos, it's going to be an in-depth self-talk. I'm going to be running at least... Well, I'm not going to be running Spire, I can tell you all that right the frick now. So we're probably just going to be doing a few Leech Lair runs with all of the actual base sylphs that you can actually get easily, because Loki, completely irrelevant to this right now. Once again... Okay, so anywho, as I was saying to Queenie, I had given the thought about doing this, because I'm sure in the past, once again, people have actually done videos. Not on burping, but excuse me. In French, that's Italian. Not Italian. In French, that is actually a compliment. But anywho, oh, more people are saying hi. Joe Gordon is saying hi. And Kyle96 is saying hi. But anywho, this was just something I had just thought about doing just to help out some more people in the game, because I know in the past people had done past videos when sylphs were still new about what you should and shouldn't use. And I know you guys have heard me even talk in some of my other videos about the sylphs you should use based on your class, but that's entirely up to you if you decide to class advance, because when you class advance, you're going to be needing the opposite type of what you are if you're going to be surviving the double bosses for Elemental Forest, because one boss has physical immunity and the other is magic immunity. So that's why I always strongly suggest you guys have to use the opposite type. But if you're the one that enjoys BG a lot, like I do, the old-fashioned, then you pretty much can stick with whatever the crap you want. I really don't give a crap. But yeah, okay, let's see what they said. LOL, yay. Oh. You're a lucky day then. Well, his lucky day. Anywho, as I said, if you guys are hardcore, just into it, just to enjoy the game without class advancing and not worrying about it, stick with whatever you want. Honestly, if you're a mage, stick with Zeus. If you're a knight, stick with Hades. Like, yeah, no, YOLO. In all honesty. And you are honestly going to just want to just basically watch and see what I'm going to be doing. And as I said in this video, we are basically going to be displaying all my extras. You're going to have Gaia, Triton, Hercules. Of course, well, I really don't need to display frickin' Medusa, because you guys have pretty much seen Medusa. Athena and Cerebus. And of course, they're all, of course, magic and physical based sylphs. So, anywho, I gotta pester her now. I got to pester her now. Yeah, that was like an in-depth conversation about family, but anywho. Okay, but anywho, side note, that was a kind of a, well, certain conversation. But anywho, I'm going to be showing you guys R2, D2. Good freaking golly. Now. She's like, when? I'm like, now. Man, I really need to work on my friends list because, again, there's a lot of... I really don't want to remove him. Okay. At least I'm trying. What a bio. What a bio. Okay, he actually does play. I pay attention to some of these people. Okay, I cannot remember who he actually is. Gold. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I try getting people to want to be a part of the team, but you know. She said, "Pure, you suck." Ah, you're funny. You're real funny, Annie. You're real funny. Okay, let's see if I can get these guys added. Hopefully they accept my ad back. But anywho, we are going to be doing some Leech's Lair runs. Because why the crap not? And of course, it's going to drop my BR a little bit because, again, main sylphs usually drop your BR drastically. So for right now, I think I'm going to show you guys how, well, for mage, you usually want to go for the physical sylphs, so we'll start off with Cerebus. I'm going to have to start building up the rage, though. So, let my rage build up a little bit here. Honestly, you know what? I think I'm just going to add some music to this video because I really don't have that much to really talk about right now until the sylphs are finished with their battling. So, if you guys would like to hold on just one moment, we will be right back with after these messages.
without being put in my place. I'ma just dive right into the wild side, and I'ma ride the wave until I die, until I die. My skin's cold, as is my heart. I'm falling apart with a smile. My bridges are burning, I'm holding the match. I'm ready to fall, we catch. Dive right into the tide. Never ride the wave until I die, until I die. I got off the wires. When I close my eyes, disconnected and tired. And I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. It's just fired. I was wrong, but I made it right. You came begging day and night. I don't wanna hit the bottom, don't go out of your state of mind. I've been counting 1 to 10. I'll be back when you'll be down. With my music again and again. I see, yeah, I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down. I see, yeah, I see you go down. Yeah, I see you go down. And I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. I see you go down, yeah, I see you go down. I see you go down, yeah, I see you just fired. It's just fire. I know you keep asking me, flames and fire. I know you are done with me. It's just fired. They say you're only young ones, you at the hideout, where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets. We're encouraged like a second skin. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. Young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. Young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for it forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises. Young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it I'll meet you at the airport. You know that we can touch the sky. Dancing in the aisles. We're skating on clouds of fire. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. Open up the skies, see the heavens clearer. I could change your mind. We know where we came from. Set our hearts on fire. The dreamers are all here. We could change your mind. They say young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. Say young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for it forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises. Say young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. Take my hand and we'll go away to a different place. Float on air and we'll hide away. I'll be your escape. Look up and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin and just levitate. tears are gone, and they drifted back from where they came, and they will not be missed. Look and feel the shifting winds tossing us around again. Hold tight, get ready to begin, and just levitate.
Come in, I can seat you by the fire. Listen, listen, there's something I must confide. I know I said that it'd be fine. I know I made it look like it'd be alright. But I think I learned my lesson, and I'm not gonna let you out of my sight. You can call me killer, 'cause I'll bring you to the light. And it might taste bitter when your answering to God. You can call me killer as you look into my eyes. Nothing but a sinner. You won't get away this time. You won't get away this time. You won't get away this time. You won't get away. As you look into my eyes, nothing but a sin.
Silence fades into the night. Coyotes sing at the moonlight. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Feel the wind touch our face. Let's take a spin to a foreign place. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape. Let's escape. Let's escape. Let's I'll hold you close through the night. I won't let go until the sunrise. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Wave goodbye to your city life. Say hello to the desert sky. These open highways are calling our name, and now it's time for us to escape. Escape to a world we don't know. Escape into the great unknown. Escape.
Okay, as you guys basically seen, each of them paired very differently, and I think I'm gonna equip Odin, or not Odin. Well, technically Odin, just pre-developed Odin. But anywho, as you guys basically saw, each of those sylphs were displayed very differently. I did not show off full of Cerebus because, well, Cerebus you really didn't need to see much. The two weaker ones of the bunch, unfortunately, is Water and Light. Because even right now, the ideal setup for a Light Sylph is Light Arrows, Delphic, Ray, Prayer, Impaling Light. Passives you honestly want to use is Radiant Soul, manifests a shield that takes 3% of your max health, so you're basically protecting yourself, and Astro of Light, which increases light damage by 5% more. And the God Core setup right now is honestly kind of bad, but of course, since Light is highly effective to Dark, you'd honestly want to keep She and Ashore intact because it's honestly your best bet. Secondly, of course, Sheen, Serpentine, decrease Electro because it is the weakest to Electro Sylphs. So that's honestly a must if you are going to main Water and you're going up against a lot of Electro users, which is the most common that you ever go up against. Then you have Mirage Exquisite, which increases the healing effectiveness of his healing skills. As you guys kind of saw, he gave, like, basically increased my health by half critical amounts. That's 318,000 for a single heal, 200,000 for a team heal, but of course it would have went higher depending if he was Poseidon, because when he's Poseidon, his heals heal for bonkers amounts. Of course, Notion Novus, you want to increase his health because he's a tank. Honestly, Triton is honestly the tank. It can deal somewhat good damage, as you guys saw, because there was only one skill that was really dealing the most damage, and that was basically Ice Bolt. Deal 300% plus 180 magic damage to the enemy with the lowest health. So every time the health keeps draining down, as you saw with Leech, or whatever, well, in Leech's Lair, you saw how her health kept dropping drastically when I kept spamming Ice Bolt. And honestly, that is also the best bet for skill. So, as you guys can kind of see and kind of understand why people never main Light and Water Sylphs, is because their attacks are really not the best. So, that is why you never main these two. But of course you want to be like me and actually make them bulky like I did for Medusa. You guys have seen the videos with Hercules. You guys have seen the videos for Medusa. So I really honestly didn't intend to make a video for them, because you guys already know the input on an Electro Sylph and the omniscient opinion of the Wind Master himself. Haha. So that was why I didn't think to feature those two, because of course they are the ones you want to keep on the main side. Well, definitely Medusa because of the Steel Rage skill, and Hercules because, well, Herc is just a frickin' single hitting tank on steroids. And of course the other attack skills you want to have is Tsunami. Deals 145% plus 156 magic water damage, and it removes a debuff from all allies with the lowest health percentage. So if your team has been infested with some type of negative skill, Tsunami basically is the purification on, well, it's like a single purification setup, so it's actually not too bad to use if you're going up in dungeons that have a lot of negative debuffs. So that's a good skill to want to keep on it. Plus the cooldown time is 10 seconds, which isn't bad. So every 10 seconds you're taking off a negative buff if you're able to live through the amount that you are suffering with, enduring. And of course, oh, for the frickin' frack. And of course, his Delphic is actually not too bad. Acro and Ray, 45 seconds, rage cost 500, yada yada yada. Deals 280% plus 350 water magic damage to all enemies. So of course, his Delphic and the Ice Bolt, oh my gosh, I need to stop hitting that area. I need to stop hitting it. So, as I was trying to say, his Ice Bolt and Acro and Rave are honestly the two best attacks that you want if you're going to main Triton, if you decide to main Triton. And you just have Warm Spring and Rain Dance because you need those two heal skills ASAP, and then worry about Tsunami and Ice Bolt later. And his two passives right now is Ocean Mirror because you want that healing effect that give you 5% extra healing. So that's honestly a plus, and you always, always, always want to keep the Ocean Mirror, of course, again, healing buff. So, and he also is Water's Heart, reducing the rate decline of awakening by 20 points for 3 seconds in the morphing state. So anytime when he's going to use a skill, it takes off 20 points at a time, so that way you are not losing as much rage as you would want. So Water's Heart is probably one of your better passives to have equipped onto him as a level 70. And of course, Master of Water is honestly, it's good, but it's not good. And basically what Master of Water does, I think, was every time you used Acro and Rave, there was a chance that you could bind the enemy so they would be stunned for 1 or 2 rounds. So if you pair that up with a mage that uses Delphic Hell Thunder, first off, that's a bind. And then if you use Triton - Poseidon as a main, and you use Acro and Rave, that's another bind effect. So Triton is honestly pretty good, especially if you build him right and you stack him well with tons of defense cores. Couple defense cores like Dauntless Intact and Mirage Agile. That's all defensive stuff, so don't even worry about increasing his attack. You want to main those. And of course, well, the Sheen for electricity is, it's iffy. You can use it, but you don't have to use it, so you can pretty much switch it out for a Buzz Blessing that increases the health. So sorry, you guys definitely would want to use those other 3 Buzz Blessing or Buzz Sylphs. Blessing, Intact, and Dauntless are your 3 best friends with Triton. Those 3 cores altogether are his best friend, along with the Mirage Exquisite, which increases his healing effectiveness, so that also is a plus. And Mirage Agile you want to have because it decreases additional inputs of damage. So his magic attack is not the best, as you guys have already seen. His only 2 best skills is Delphic and Ice Bolt. So those are a must, plus the healing skills and Tsunami, and these 2 passives right here that you guys see. And as you guys can see, her magic attack is not the best, but her magic defense makes up for it. However, when you guys kind of realize it, it's still not the best. So, in all honesty, don't use Light Sylph. Light Sylph is not the best. So, I'm kind of glad I stayed clear of that, in all honesty. And then, of course, Cerebus, it is basically all AoE skills, and you just look at it. Dragon Blast basically is that one skill that has 160% plus 300 physical fire damage to 2 to 3 enemies. And then Firestorm is basically an AoE on everybody to where they're losing health 4,000 points each for 5 rounds. So that's also an AoE hitter. Delphic is 1 to 2 people, but of course that's most, well, some Delphics, not most. And then you have Devouring Lava, which deals 265 plus 700 physical fire damage to a front row enemy, and the target's health or defense decreases by 10% for etc. amount of rounds. So like 2-3 rounds, the decrease in their defenses would go down. For Death's Harvest and Divine Purge, you guys seen the damage output increases by 5% for 2 rounds. So Devouring Lava lingers for 2 to 3 rounds, so you're dealing additional physical damage. So that's why you always have to use Devouring Lava first, then go into Delphic, and then whatever other skill. Highly preferring Blistering Flame. It deals 210% plus 875 fire damage, and target loses 2% health, so Blistering Flames combo with Firing Storm, they're losing consistent amount of health. And if you use the Bleed rune, which is honestly kind of dumb, because, I mean, there's only one person I know that uses the Bleed rune, but that's all she has for right now. So until she can get some better runes, she's winging it. She's, well, not doing too bad of a job. She bleeds them, and I kill them. So, again, unstoppable duo. And his core setup, honestly, you honestly want to have a Notion Heartseeker because you want to get through the physical defense. That's basically piercing through their defense based on the attribute setup for the Sylph. So if his physical defense is higher, the higher the defense, or not defense, I'm tired. The higher his physical attack is, the more bypass strength 300 of the target's physical defense. Okay, yeah. So the higher the strength on the physical Sylphs, it can bypass the defense of other players. So it's basically piercing through their additional defense. So, in all honesty, Notion Heartseeker or Eternal Notion are the two main God cores advanced you want to use if you're going to main Cerebus. Sheen Sanctity, of course. Well, water damage, that's just there to be there. And of course, Disruption Backfire because of the skill he has that's passive backfire. It basically, of course, as the name suggests, backfire. It's deflecting little amount of damage back at the person. But the higher this one is, it boosts the effect to where it deflects more damage back at the person. So if you're a solid rebound knight with enhanced deflection plus rebound plus the rebound from his 50s talents, and you have the rebound from the disruption backfire, you're dealing a lot of damage to the person. So backfire is like your best friend. And then of course you'd want to use Dauntless and Intact and Sunder. Blessing is not really necessary. So those three I just said, Sunder, Intact, and Dauntless, is what you would want to use for as regular cores for a Cerebus. Okay, I'm trying to go as fast as I can because my phone is about dead and it's going to take a while for all 3 of the videos to update. So anywho, that's all them. And of course, final Sylph, you already know, Eternal Notion, and the Buzz, Dauntless, Intact, Blessing, and, or no wait, not Blessing, but Agile, and, or Modification of Shadows, which you guys have seen on Hades, and Sunder. Those are the 4 to 5 ideal cores you want to use for Hecate, but since Hecate was not, or not Hecate, Gaia was not mained, it's irrelevant, but you guys have already seen. And with the skill setup, you can see Gaze is a must, Soul is a must, Engulf is a must, Harvest is a must, and Awe is a must. Of course, amnesia effect. Of course, as you guys saw on Loki, the weaker their health is, the stronger you become. Modification of shadow. Again, if I hit you, you have a chance of succumbing to madness as if you're under the chaos rune effect. So that is also your BFF. Tainted Brun. Every crit attack received, I get a buff for magic defense for plus 5% for 3 rounds, and it's stackable up to 6 times. So you're basically getting 30% additional magic defense percentage for 6 rounds, which is honestly... Anyway, 3 rounds, my bad. 3 rounds, which is honestly not too bad. So, yeah, all these cores are a definite must. Getting the right cores for each of these sylphs is a must. And this was kind of the in-depth look. Now you guys kind of have an idea, and you guys already know. Hercules is just that one major tank to where chance of to plus 150 your own awakening points when triggered crit skill attacks. So every